Hi, I'm Chef Gary from PRZman.com, and I'm here today to teach you my perfect fried rice. So we're talking about rice. We're talking about fried rice, in fact. We're talking about snacks from the fridge, and we're talking about what we can do with our leftovers. Now, I love that whole thing, and I love the fact that we can be creative, and we can be clever, and we can use our fridge as a source of inspiration. But what I'm going to do today, and I'm going to try and do this as fast as possible, just to demonstrate how easy it really is, I'm going to try and do a purpose-designed fried rice. Now, there's no stopping you from going into your fridges and digging out and finding out all the ingredients that have been there for a few days longer than necessary and turning them into a wonderful snack. And this is the great thing late at night. When you're a bit tired and you don't really have the inspiration, you don't really have the design or the want to feed yourself, to pull out a few things and saute them up in a pan. And we've all done it, and I do it myself. But I made this today to show you how simple it is, really. I've got some terrific ingredients, and I've actually only got 5 ingredients that are going to go into this fried rice. So it's as simple as that. It's not 20 ingredients, it's not a whole day's worth of preparation. It's 5 simple ingredients, which can all be interchanged. They're not set in stone. It's not definite that you have to use them all. But what I've got here is I've got this beautiful pork belly, which I've cooked in advance, and I've cooked it for a few hours, just roasted in the oven, very simple, no seasoning, no additions, just put it in the pan, put it in the oven, forgot about it, 350 degrees, 2 hours, done. And then I've chopped it up. I've chopped it up into nice chunks, and it's a nice ratio of meat to fat, which is going to give us that moisture in the rice. That fat's going to melt down, and it's going to give it the coating that we need for our fried rice. We've also got omelette. And every fried rice needs a bit of egg, but I've cooked them in advance, and I've got one here on my board. I just cooked them 5 minutes ago in a pan. I think we've done an omelette session previously, and it's the same principles. It's cooking in a nice non-stick pan very quickly, a very quick operation. And so that's nice and soft still, and just with my knife I'll just shred it up so that that's ready to go into the rice as well. And again, it's really as simple as that. I've also got some onions, but I've taken some little baby onions here, which I've cooked in a little bit of white wine and a little bit of vinegar. And I've just cooked them, I've cut them into quarters, cooked them for maybe an hour on a slow simmer, and it's concentrated them, it's made them slightly pickled but very sweet. And again, you don't have to do it this way. You can use raw onions, you can just saute them in a saucepan and throw them straight in. It's no big deal at all, but I think these little touches and these little additions do make all the difference. Greens, I like to throw greens into my fried rice, but I don't want to go to the effort of steaming and braising and all that nonsense in advance. So I've just got some Asian greens from the salad counter in the supermarket, just something that you can take out of a bag, give a quick rinse, and throw them in. So there's some greens there. And then the sauce. The sauce is the only thing that I think is really worth investing in. And this is a sauce which I haven't cooked. I've just taken three ingredients, 3 bottles, and I've poured them together. I've taken yuzu, I've taken soy, and I've taken mirin. Now, it's a bit Japanesey in the sense, but it also gives it a really nice citric flavor. And this is something that you can do, you can pop in the fridge. I've put this in an old marmalade jar, and I've popped that in the fridge. That will last for months. And you can use that as a salad dressing as well. You can use it as a lacquer for cooking salmon or chicken. It's got great universal uses, and it's something you could use for so many different things, and I think we're going to put this recipe up online for you to have a look at. So this is a great little thing, little store cupboard essential that you should really have. And then the only other thing is the rice, and the rice I've got here in my steamer, and this I'm using jasmine rice. Jasmine rice just because I like its fragrance, I like its stickiness, I like the fact that it brings everything together. And that's my ingredients, that's the whole thing. All I need, I'm making the jasmine rice hot in my steamer, but again, if you don't have a steamer, pop it in the microwave or cook it fresh and just tip it straight into your pan. I'm just making it simple so that I can demonstrate it to you very quickly. So a big frying pan, a big non-stick frying pan on a nice high heat, and I'm just going to take those ingredients and I'm going to tumble them together. So the pork belly, you can hear the sizzle, it goes straight into a hot pan. You don't need very much. This is just enough for about 2 people I'm making here, so what was that? That was a handful, that was maybe a quarter pound of pork belly that we're throwing in there. Into that as well, we've got the onions. I just dip a few of those onions in. And the smell, that porky smell, once the heat really starts to release the flavours of that pork belly, is quite fantastic. So they're in there, and already, because that pan's really nice and hot, the temperature of those ingredients have come straight up straight away. We don't need to waste any more time. We can take our rice, we can dump our rice straight in. To our ingredients. Give that a quick turn over. And we're already more than 50% there. This stage we'll put our egg in. The egg doesn't want to cook any further because it's already nice and soft and juicy, and we don't want to lose that effect. And our greens. Now we're just going to dump the greens straight in there, and I'm just going to use the residual heat of the rice and all those other ingredients to wilt the greens ever so slightly, to break them down. And just by turning them over in the pan like that, we're already pretty much there. The only other thing that we want to do is to add in our sauce, our dressing. A little bit of that in there. I'll give it one more quick turn over. The greens have just wilted, they've just softened up, but they haven't actually cooked, which again gives it a nice contrast of textures. And I think that's ready to serve. So, take out a nice little portion. We'll put them into these serving bowls. This is for an individual, and I've actually made a little bit more than 2 portions, but I'm sure it will get eaten. I'll put the rest of it into this big bowl here. So this is, I've also got some alfalfa cress there, which is just, I mean, it's not very Chinese, it's not very Asian at all, but it's a nice little touch to go on top, which actually makes the whole dish seem quite pretty. So, start to finish, I think you'll find, if all your ingredients are together, fried rice, purpose-made fried rice, certainly not leftover fried rice, perfect for a midnight snack.